Ocean City Yu-Gi-Oh!
What's
Oh,
up, everyone from Ocean City Yu-Gi-Oh! We just finished the final round for the February 26th Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament, and if you guys can't tell, I'm in my girlfriend's room right now, all the pink, and what a more fitting way to end tonight's tournament by having our winner be a Madolche deck, one of my girlfriend's favorite decks in a girly room here, the Madolches. I she she's smiling about that. She loves the Madolche. She's got like a whole binder full of the cards. But without further ado, Shad Khan, let's see this Madolche deck.
thank you for laying me in. Not Tom, Hunter. So we're going to start off with like the main guarded of the deck. So this is going to be our Pudding S. Shout out to being an ulti. So this is our guarded of the deck. You never want to open this up whatsoever unless it's during the end of your combo, which case you can add it back to your hand. Typically, you want to add it back to your hand as soon as you possibly can, because due to like Glass Souffle's additional effect for where you can just go ahead and grab back from anything from the grave or shuffle back due to it, as well as Chateau. You can go ahead, add this back, and then like let's say you have Orange Light, for instance. You can go ahead, add this back, and it's really good. But on fields, this gains 800 attack just for if there's no monsters, and then after damage calc, which a lot of people actually forget about this, is that you can actually like pop a card, no matter if it's your monster or your opponent's. Just pop a card on your opponent's side.
Not only all that, it's got the cute approval for my girlfriend. she,
Yeah,
she
my
saw that
my
and was
love.
like, "Oh, that's cute."
Yeah, my ulti. Yes.
So,
Um.
so I'm assuming you won.
Yes, I did.
You make me proud. You did what I told you to.
Yes. So we're gonna go
Yeah.
ahead and go into the double message gelato. Gelato, you definitely don't want to open up at all unless you have the Burner Self engine mixed in here. So like if you open up like with gelato and burn yourself, it's pretty much full combo no matter what you do. But if you just hard open this, then it's like, well, what can you do here? But that's where a Salon can come into play. To where if you have like additional support like the field spell, or if you have anything, it just works. And fun fact, this thing's a soft once per turn.
Okay.
Most of the monsters are soft once per turns.
That's nice.
Yeah. So we have double Who Cake. I like double in this. So like we're going for standard ratios. Who Cake you don't absolutely need, but since we're running the Vernaself engine, it actually helps so much intensely to where like if you just open up Who Cake and a Vernaself only, just go ahead, dump, okay, cool, search out whatever you need. And then we have one of our main stars in the form of Angeli. We run triple because his triple is the best thing you can run in this. So Angeli has this ignition effect where you contribute itself off, and then you can special summon a Madolche from your deck, and then like you can put it in defense position if you want, and then it just makes it battle immune for at least 2 turns. So like if you special on your side of the turn, okay, cool. You typically special summon out Who Cake immediately in defense position, and then you just pop off from there even further. But this is like one of your main key starters, as well as Petting as Soar, which allows the deck to just go super hard. So Petting as Soar, on special summon or even normal, yeah, on special summon, you can go ahead and special out a Madolche monster from either hand or deck, but it reduces the level by 1, which becomes this. It's the hard garnet. So it actually works out pretty well, and plus you just special it out for free. And it doesn't take up your normal, which is really nice for this deck, especially if we're running the likes of Salon, which gives us an additional normal summon. I run triple Mageline in my builds for this. Mageline, I would say you could easily cut down to 2 if you're running for like non-engine, but I modified this build so much to the point where it's like, okay, you need your normal summon. It doesn't like all the way out there, you know? But I do like Magdalene because it only gets you Angeli, but also good petting. It's also really good Ash / imperm bait, even effective healer and so on. But it's so good for when you're going against. It's like, oh, cool, bait. But it moves heavily into Drool. But that's where our little hand trap line can come into play sometimes. This is for like all the Dolch monsters. Now for like non-engine, I run double paper tops. I do like the paper tops in this because you could funny fact you can actually use the Vertisilv engine, bring this back immediately on your first turn, and it's so funny because of it. It's like, okay, cool, instant pop. I just like it because why not? I'm running I'm running triple Flourishing Hills. You could argue you could run this at 2. I like it at 3 because I want consistency, but also you can. What if you just pitch this at any card for a monster? You just add a Vertisilv card in the entire archetype, which you only run a few in here, but it's just really good. And plus, with any of the Vertisilv monsters, you're locked into Earth effects, so you do got to keep that in mind. But it's not after, like, if it's during chain, you can chain like things like Orange Light, for example. And then we have what I like to call Quacky Ducky, or just Missing Seedlings. This grabs you
Ducky,
any.
I love that.
Yeah. So this grabs you any Earth Fairy. It's the same thing as Flourishing Hills, but just this is for any Earth Fairy in the entire game, which is so good. And then this is for a flex spot, but you can definitely change this out. I run 1 Awakening Forest to dump paper tops. More specific, like, or is either that or any of my Madolche cards. So this really comes up in a very niche pinch, but it's so good for follow-up, and all the Vertisilvs on their own can revive back an Earth monster from your grave as well. And this one just dumps, anything you want.
Yeah, that's definitely nice being able to dump any Earth with paper tops being an Earth. That works out for that recursion.
Where are they? And then we have for our hand trap line, we have double Ghost Mortar. I do like Ghost Mortar in this format compared to others because there's so much instances where like you're not exactly too sure of what you want, but also it just burns and it's really good for time. And trust me, I got Ghost Mortar round 2 and it was annoying. And then we have triple effect Veiler. You could argue you could cut effect Veiler for something else. I like the effect Veiler in this build because you can shuffle it back into the deck, or you could add it back to hand through the effect of Chateau / your extra deck monster. So yeah, non once per turn. Just go like bonk bonk. And then we have triple Orange Light. Since most of your monsters are fairies, you can just run this at triple and it's fine.
Nice.
And it's super fun. It's like, okay, cool. Anyway, negate. Then our spell and trap lineup. We have 1 Chateau. You can just run 1 Chateau. It's fine on its own. We have 1 ticket. This is like what your 1-of searchable in the deck if you already have full combo of sorts, or like you need additional pieces that you already have. It's just there for extension purposes. And then we run the 1 Salon. You could argue, you could bump this up to 3 or even 2. I like running as a 1-of because you need your monster count to either be really high in hand or you just can just do whatever you want. But that's where the side deck can come into play, where you can mix and match however you want with the spells and trap lineup. For our non-Madolche, we have double Prosperity. You do care about your extra deck in this build, but it's not like the exact same compared to most because you're easily locked out into your extra deck until the next turn due to petting as Soar's effect to special from hand or deck. But Pop Prosperity just digs. It's like, okay, cool. Just dig for whatever you need. And I like to go for +6 or even +3 if I can even shuffle this back into the deck, and it's really beneficial. And then I run double Book of Moon. Book of Moon, I believe, is heavily underrated in this format due to the fact that Snake Eyes is definitely running around. It's annoying. You can just play whatever, and it just works. I was running this a triple before this, but then I thought, oh wait, I could just go ahead run double, and it doesn't really mess up with the consistency. And that's where like you can go blind second if you want in this build, but you don't have to. But this is more of a going first build. And then for traps, we're just running the double promenade. Promenade, you could argue you can run one of this, and it just works out perfectly fine on its own. So you could target a card on your side of the field, on your side of the field, or even in your graveyard, and then you can negate a card on your opponent's side of the field. So think of it like Abyss, but for trap. And then this becomes really good, but you can only activate once per turn. So if it's in the graveyard as well, you can banish it, target an XC Madolche you control, and attach any Madolche monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard onto it, and it just works out really well. And then for our extra deck, we're running we're running Fresh to Start. This is like your typical inboard monster. I like running 2 in this build because 1 is fine on its own, sure, but you're typically ending on this as like either additional board disruption, protection for your spells and traps, which they cannot target or destroy, as long as it's pointing to like the 2 downward arrows. And then you just pop off from there, and then you just protect it no matter what. You just shuffle back a monster. There you go. It procs for the Salon. We're running double chocolate. I like running double chocolate, so it's pretty standard. Chocolate is not a once per turn. You can shuffle back any Dolch card back into the deck. And then you just go ahead and do your thing. It's because it's a big stick, and it's not once per turn if you have Pudding as attaches material for its special summon effect. But you have to either special summon attack or face down presents. And then like you can do the same thing with the likes of Chateau here, which boosts up all your monsters by 500 attack and defense. So that's where Chateau can come into play. In this build, I'm running triple Queen Tiramisu due to prosperity, as well as like the first start. I love Queen Tiramisu is essentially your boss monster for in game. So you can detach 1, and then you can target 2 Madolche cards in your graveyard, and this non-target shuffle anything in your opponent's field, and it's busted, and it's a soft once per turn as well.
That is a really strong mechanic. People shuffle stuff back to the deck.
It is, and it actually gets around Fire King really well because of it.
Right? Yeah, it's not destroying them, so.
Yeah, and then you can just rank it up on top of Chocolate mode as well. You could do that because it just requires anything. And then running triple Glass Souffle, you could argue this could be a 2 of, but again, due to prosperity, I like either banishing this or another glass or another first start. This is like your main combo extender point / your inboard to where you can target any Dolch on the field, make it monster immune for the turn. And that's really comes up. It is like you need to dump a card, then go rank up, and then shuffle back into the deck, make your combo stars. But also, you can if a Madolche monster is ever sent to the graveyard by any means, that includes your Herald Lights, you can non-target, shuffle back any card from either graveyard back into the deck, and it's upwards of 2. It's the same thing with Queen, but it's only on fields. And then for our additional extra deck monsters, Abyss Dweller does come up once in a while. I definitely like it in this format, especially with Snake Eye running around, as well as Fire King. You can make this off of a 2-card combo where you can just do Mageline Salon. Just do Mageline Salon, go to this, then you go into your lock, which really does help. Excuse me. You can go for your extra monsters. I like going Cerberus Phoenix. These are just like generic outs, because why not? I like Asa. Also, you could easily cut out, I believe, in this build because you could just make it for any generic link. But I like Asa in this because occasionally you go up against super heavy once in a while, and it gets a really annoying really fast for them. And plus, you just need link fodder at that point, or even banish pile for Hoot Cake. And then for our last pile, we can go for Baguska. Baguska, sometimes you just end up on this very sleepy boy. And he just comes up with the Vernasil package so much. But originally, this was supposed to be Exiton Knight, but after testing, it just did not come up. And it was just annoying. And now for our side deck. So for this, I'm running triple DD Crow. DD Crow is pretty self-explanatory. You just go ahead, special out. Or not special. You can just use this as disruption for against like Minidium or Therion or anything else. But it's really good against certain matchups, against Snake Eye, for instance. I'm running double Lantia in this build. Shout out to the collectors where I pulled. Yeah. So with Lantia, it's more against Banish Pile / Kashtira because you don't necessarily care about your own graveyard unless it's for Hoot Cake specifically. But you do care about your piles being banished. And it's like you don't want your key pieces to be banished. So Lancia is a nice 2-of. You don't necessarily care about it all that much if it opens up and it's like, okay, cool. We're running triple Denko Sekka because you can make your double normal so little that you're okay to run whatever you want. And this, all it says is on summon, your opponent can activate spells or traps that are set, and it's just so amazing at that point.
That double normal is going to come into play with that other card in your side deck. I know you're saving the best one for last.
Yeah. Well, okay. Speaking of which, I'm not gonna say. And then we have my boy Spear Mode.
Yes, that Spear Mode went in. Oh my god.
Yeah, Spear Mode helped me so much against the mid-AM player. And I opened 2 of them too. These are only cards I cited during game 3 because of like, what else am I going to really hit? Because I was just thinking, okay, Board Breaker. Okay, cool. What's he gonna end on? And he's ended on the typical mid-AM inboard, where it's Appaloosa, Baron, and then as well as not Baldrake, but the other synchro for Bystials, the synchro. And then this comes up so much, and it's so funny. But you just can't commit your normal summon afterwards, which you don't really care about this. But it also gets around your additional normal. So like, you get additional normal off of that as well.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and then for our spells and traps, we're just playing the Change of Heart. I like Change of Heart for like if we're going for a rank 4. But other than that, you can easily cut this out. I just do whatever. You know, it's like a utility tool. And then we're, of course, running the triple Solemn Judgment. Fun fact, my side deck wasn't even complete until I added these. I was so grateful because I had these on standby regardless, but I was trying to figure out what I could add in for like the side deck. But Judgment came up once in a while, but it didn't come up in any of the games during my turn 8 run. So that kind of sucks, but it was still added in, and I'm glad that I did.
Definitely. Well, great deck profile, Shad Khan. It's definitely cool seeing the Madolche deck really popping off here. And I still can't get over that raw Sphere Mode play. Running over the Minidium deck is insane with raw Sphere Mode. That's going to be a big highlight right there.
We raw balled.
Absolutely, bro. But until next time, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Ocean City Yu-Gi-Oh! And peace out.
Peace.
Yeah. I really gotta give it to my day ones. Do it for my friendos. My grind, I'm feeling a crescendo. Why not? give it everything I got. My whole team saying this my shot. Yeah, we got a bond, call it 007. My bar Slurpee in the summer, call it 7-Eleven. I used to hezzy with my cross, had him slipping in heaven. The reverend had to stop by just to check for possession. I don't need a reason, I just do it cause I'm blessed with it. Know your boy's dripping, got the sauce, yeah, I'm dressed in it. Even though there's talent on the team, I'm the best with it. Pressed with it, sticking out my chest with it, yeah. Whoa, whoa, that's crazy. Your friend's ghost, call them all Pat Swayze. Whoa, whoa, mind wavy, squad vibes like Jay-Z.